Thursday.
On a Thursday, yes,
Okay.
Kings. We are doing so well. What this is night 3 of class.
Week 3.
Our week 3 of class. We
Uh-huh.
are accomplishing
Yeah.
so much. How's everything going on you guys' side? You got any questions? Anything we need to review before we get into week 3? No, this is week 4, right?
No, week 3. We
This is
remember we was
actually week
off
3
last.
right here.
Remember we had to
Okay.
reschedule last week. We didn't go.
Okay.
So this
Cool.
week, this week 3 right here.
And this is week 3 of how many of the course itself?
4.
Okay. Cool.
With a bonus week 5, basically. You know the
Okay. Cool.
week
Fellas,
5.
how's it going? What y'all learned so far? What's your questions? What's going on? Talk to me about trading.
Okay. Shaba, Jersey. Good night, Queen. How you
What's
doing?
up,
How's
Shaba?
everything?
Everything's well. How's
Bless.
everything with you?
I always trade. I don't do good. Good evening.
That is so good to hear.
So my question is this: you said pullback is the opposite of trend, and
Yeah.
trend shows the direction the market is going. So what does pullback really do? You say it's the opposite of trend. Could you kind of explain that?
Yep, sure can. So let's see here.
Okay.
Let me pull up this computer for the screen purposes. All right. I'm gonna look at let me explain. Okay, so and then it make more sense, you know how we do our system. But let's see here. All right, so let me just explain it because I forgot our little technicality. So we got support and resistance, right?
Uh huh.
Okay, which line is the top line and which line is the bottom line?
So the top line is that's the roof,
Which is
which
what?
is one is the roof, one is the floor. One the top line is the support.
All right, so R is for resistance, roof and resistance, and then supply.
Okay.
I mean, what's the word? You done made me forget. Support, supply, and resistance. There we go. Roof is for resistance. Supply is for the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So, say for
Right.
instance that the price has gone through the roof, right? That could
Okay.
be a false breakout. That means it could be really going up or it really could not be going up. So we're waiting for the pullback to prove if it's really breaking out or not. So when price is in between those two lines, the top line and the bottom line, which is resistance and supply, price is inside of that zone. So price is just going back and forth like a tennis match. That makes sense?
Right. You said like a ball, dribbling basketball to see if it's going to break through.
Yes. Okay. So when it breaks through, the big banks know people like us are wanting to get in on that trade. So it might be a false breakout, meaning it'll break out of the zone but come back into the zone. The pullback is going to tell you whether it's going to come back into the zone or stay out of the zone. So what that means is it's going to break above the resistance a little bit, and the pullback is if it comes back to the resistance line. We're trying to see what it. So now the pullback is at. So now resistance has now become support. Remember, resistance was the roof.
Right.
So if it breaks through the roof and it comes back down to that line, that's now the floor, the support. We want to see if it's going to bounce and continue going up or if it's going to come back into the zone. That is the pullback when it comes back down to support, which was resistance.
Okay. And when it does this, does it create like another candle? Like I see you had the breakdown of the candles
It could be a
on the
series of
on the thing.
candles. So let me see. Where am I chart not pulling it up?
Huh?
Hold on a second. It could be a series of candles. So when it goes, so when normally if it breaks resistance, you might see even with the strategy that we're learning, right? When it breaks resistance,
Uh-huh.
we want to see 3 candles above that resistance line before we enter the trade. Because if if those candles are coming back into the zone that it just broke, then we don't want to trade. So
So put me that one more time. Yeah, I want to write that down. You said when you
okay.
see 3 candles or what?
Okay, so when price breaks resistance, we want to see 3 candles formed. Or 3 candles closed is the correct terminology. 3 candles closed outside of resistance before we enter our trade.
The phone was cutting out. Miss Phoenix, you said when the price candle breaks resistance, what else?
Okay, when price breaks resistance, we want to see 3 closed candles outside of resistance before we enter our trade.
So you want to see reclose resistance?
3 closed candles.
You said 3. You said 3 closed. Oh.
Yeah, 3 closed candles.
Yeah. 3 closed candles. All right. I've got a resistance before we enter our trade. When price breaks resistance, you want to see 3 closed candles.
Before we enter a trade.
Before you enter a trade.
Before we enter.
You go up a little bit more. Okay. So if we look at the screen here, did I use this computer the last time or this computer?
I think you use the one in your hand.
Okay.
Yeah, use that one.
All right. Let's see if we can get a little closer. All right. So let me hold on. All right. There's a yellow line here. And this yellow line is resistance. This is the top of our zone. And underneath this yellow line are the candles. It was in the zone. So anything underneath this yellow line was activity happening inside of the zone that we do not care about per se for this strategy. So your question is, Snow, that price broke resistance. That's this candle right here. All right. Most people want to get in on this candle right here, and the market knows that. So they do things to get us trapped and have us have a bad trade. So to prevent that from happening to us, what we're looking for, well, 2 things. To answer your first question is a pullback. So technically, I don't trade the 3 candle strategy. I trade the pullback strategy. So when price breaks, let me see. All right. So just to answer your pullback question, price broke comes all the way up to here, but it comes back down to this resistance level. Resistance is now support. This is my entry if I follow my A plus setup. So price broke here. It did all of this. I'm waiting for it to pull back down to resistance, which is now support. When that happens, I enter the trade. That's how I trade. But what you guys are looking at is this: price broke, and now we're looking for 3 green fully closed candles on top of the resistance line, which is really good for you guys. You guys get into trade way earlier than I would have gotten into this trade. So right here we have 1, 2, 3 fully closed candles. Your entry is going to be the open of the next candle, and your stop loss is going to be underneath the resistance zone. When you see this, it's going to make so much more sense. So basically, you break the line. We're above the line now, right? We want to see price come back to the line. That's a pullback. And when that price come back to the line, we want to see price go up again. So the basketball came up, it bounced back down to the ground, and it's now we're looking for it to bounce higher. That's a pullback. When it hits the ground, that's the pullback. Okay. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right. Do you have any other questions? No? Okay.
No, we good. We can move on. We good.
That's pretty much what we're focusing on tonight is how to look at the chart and see your setup. So let me see if I can find another one for us. Let me make this smaller too so we can see what we're talking about. So let me see. Okay. So right here is an example of what a zone or range is. Price is going, it hit the floor, came to the roof, hit the floor, came to the roof. All of that is price action happening within the zone. Technically, we're not doing any trading in this price action. What we are waiting to see is a breakout. And a breakout can happen above resistance for if it happens above resistance, that means you're going for a long. You think price is going up, so your entry is going to be for price to move upward, and then if price breaks below support, you're going to enter a trade for price to make a lower low. You feel like price is about to go. Not price is proving that it's about to go down. So you're basically doing nothing inside of the zone, and you're trying to see if it's going to break above resistance or below support. And then from there, you're waiting to see your three candles, and that's your entry for your trading. And you can make money going up and you can make good money going down. A lot of people recommend that you do not trade inside of the zone, and you shouldn't if it's not your A plus setup. But if you have an A plus setup for inside of the zone, you can take advantage of price action sideways as well. So technically, you have three ways of making money: going up, going across sideways, and going down. But the best way and the easiest way, especially for a newer trader, is just seeing price break out of the zone, looking for your three candles, and that is your entry, and then your stop will be right underneath the zone. Okay, so that's one example here. I'm gonna try to find another one so we can see that. And then let's see. So let's see, price is at 272 right here. And price went up to 270. Oh, let's see. Apple stock is so different from futures. Let's see.
You have 1 minute remaining.
We've been talking for 15 minutes already.
Word.
Yes.
Okay. So I want to find another example because this is what we're doing for the next 2 weeks. Finding where your entries are where we can take trades.
Okay.
All right, let's see what else we got here. Get out the way, Barack. Excuse me. All right. We got another one right here.
Somebody face was this in the camera?
Barack.
No?
I knew I wasn't tripping. I just looked up. I thought I saw an eyeball.
You did.
Thank you for using Global Telling.
Oh, Barack.
How did my shoe at?
Barack be video
Barack, if you don't
bombing,
take that
you
shoe off, we're gonna have a problem. All right, fellas. So right here, I just drew another zone in between the top line and the bottom line. That's a zone. Price action is happening inside of the zone. We want to see if price is going to break above or break beneath the zone. And right here, price broke above. 1, 2, 3. This is a really big jump, but the strategy still works. Technically, I probably would have passed on this trade because of the risk to reward is so big because this is such a big candle jump that when we put our stop loss underneath the zone, if it goes the wrong way, we lose a lot of money. If we're trading funded accounts, we can blow an account. But if we're trading real money, this is a great setup here that we could still benefit from. But as a new person, I wouldn't take this trade, but it still shows great breakout energy and what that looks like. And it actually still does have 1, 2, 3 candles that we could have entered and still made great money here. It's just that when we put our stop loss down here at the bottom, that's a big, if price came back down, that's how much money we're losing. So in our other example, price was way closer. The three lines was way closer to this line. So if price did reverse on us, we wouldn't have took a big loss. But if price reverses on us with this movement, that's a big loss. So that's something you would have to weigh out. Like I see the move, but is my risk management in alignment with it? And this to me would be a no. But I just want you to see how the breakout is happening. Okay. Let me see if I can find one that is breaking out to the bottom. Oh, is anybody on the call right now?
Yeah, Snow is.
Okay, Snow is. Okay. Okay, Snow. All right. So let's look at this one. Okay. This is our zone. See price action coming in, going up, down, choppy. Finally, it breaks. This is a break to the bottom of the zone. So this one broke supply. We've been breaking resistance. This one broke supply. And we are looking for 3 red candles. We got 1, 2, 3. We enter on that third candle. We put our stop loss above supply, which is now resistance. And we watch the move come on down. And it takes a nice move all the way down from here to here. That's what we're looking for.
That's very good. Hello? I'm sorry.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, I'm back.
So I think that's enough information for tonight so we can get the clips to you so you can see that and then we can talk about it even further detail. But this is what we're doing every time, marking our zones. About please stop. Marking our zones, and that's just basically when price is in the middle. It's not going above or underneath. It's kind of making a solid, it's consolidation. It's just kind of going straight. And we're looking to see if it's going to break below that bottom line, which is support, or the top line, which is resistance. And then we're looking for our contributing factors to say we can get into the trade. And for us, it's just 3 closed candles below the zone or beneath the zone. I mean, above the zone or beneath the zone is our entry. That's it. That's all. And when it hits our stop, it hits our stop. If it takes our take profit is going to be the next zone. Or if you're a scalper like me, you don't even have to wait all the way to the next zone. You know what your price is that you're looking for. Get your money, get out the market. Wow. Yeah. Okay. From what we just talked about, or anything from week 1 or 2, any questions? Go. Go.
Yeah, y'all ain't got no questions about the because the clips that y'all already got.
Yeah, they I ain't get the ones from last week for the week before. Question. I got the first week ones. I didn't get the second week ones yet.
Nah, what ain't no clips after that. It's probably.
I ain't know if you did a second week joint.
Nah, you gonna get the clips from tonight, but the other one. Yeah. Nah. Yeah. I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be
a question. So what is the purpose of the wick in the whole candle process?
The purpose of the wick. So the wick is basically just showing the whole price action of the candle. So the wick of the candle is basically saying that price went this high or price went this low in that candle. So let's say the wick starts at let's say this candle starts at $5 and goes to $20. So when this candle, the 1 minute candle, during this 1 minute session, it went as low as $5. That's the wick. And it went as high as $20. That's the other side of the wick. Okay. But let's say it opened, if we're doing a green candle, the red candle, the red candle closes at the bottom. So the green candle closes at the top. So basically, what happens is, even though it started at $5, even though it went down to $5, price might have started at 10. So price opened up at $10, but it went as low as $5. So that's what the wick is showing. That in this candle, the price went as low as $5.
Right.
Okay. But it opened at $10 and it closed at $15. But before it closed at $15, it did go up to 20, but it ended up coming back down to 15, and that's where the candle closed. So the wick shows how high price went in that 1 minute and how low price went in that 1 minute. But the body shows where price actually opened and where price actually closed in that 1 minute. So that means the body basically represents where price spent most of his time. When you see a wick, that just means price quickly went there and then came back to the body. Like that's not real. That's not really the real price. It's just kind of like let's say that you were running a marathon, right? And you get to the finish line. You know how when you get to the finish line, you can't just stop automatically. How it runs over, how you run over a little bit.
Right.
When you're ending the race, how your body just naturally still takes a few more steps in the run, even though you're tired. That's what a wick is.
Right.
It's like they're trying to stop the price, but the wick moves so quick that it went up a little bit higher than the close.
Oh.
But really the body is showing the real price structure. Like the body is the weight of the candle. And the wick just kind of leaves hints about future moves, how high price can go. But in general, it just shows in whatever time structure. 'Cause you got the 1 minute candle, you got different time, you got different charts that you can look at these same candles. So for an example, right now, this is price action on the 1 minute chart. We're looking at the same price action, but each one of these candles represent 5 minutes. So this candle is showing what price action does every minute. This candle is showing what price action does every 5 minutes. This candle is showing what price action is doing every 15 minutes, and so on and so on. So wicks kind of tell you where price is going, but the generic answer is it's just showing the full movement of that price time. Whatever the time you select is showing you how high and how low it went during that time frame.
So my question is, which candle price line is better to watch?
Which candle price lines?
for the watch.
Okay, so let me tell you what a candle close is. Oh, so basically, we were for the most part we trade off of the 1 minute candle.
Yeah, I like it.
Yep. So we look at higher time frames to understand what the actual trend actually is, because the 1 minute candle and the 1 minute time frame price looks different because it's showing you every minute. Like every minute there's a new candle compared to a 30-minute candle or an hour candle or a 4 hour candle. So it can look like prices going on a 1 minute candle, it can look like prices trending up, but on a higher time frame, which holds more weight, price can be trending down, right? So for an example, if we're looking at a higher time frame and price is trending up, but if we're looking at the 1 minute, we might see a pullback. The pullback is looking like price is coming down, but it's really not. It's just a pullback for it to go up more. And the higher time frame is basically our confluence that once there is a pullback, price should go up because the trend is going up on the higher time frame. That's a little bit advanced information, but it'll make sense by and by.
All right. Also, one more thing. What about the break? What's the breakout? The breakout is again.
All right. So the breakout is we got resistance and we got support. Resistance is the roof, support is the floor. So price lives inside of that house, right? So like a basketball, it'll bounce down to the floor, hit the ceiling, bounce down to the floor, hit the ceiling, bounce down to the floor, hit the ceiling. That's a zone. So a breakout is when it breaks out of the zone, literally. Like, did it break out of the ceiling? Did it break out of the floor? That's a breakout. But if it stays inside, that's not a breakout. If it keeps going from floor to roof, floor to roof, floor to roof, that's not a breakout. But when it breaks outside of the roof, or if it busts through the floor, then that's a breakout.
You have 1 minute left.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. It's me like that.
You said what?
The caller has hung up.
Nah, he gonna call back.
Okay.
We still got Shab on.
Okay. Any questions, Shaba?
Nah, you kind of answered the questions I had.
Okay.
About the wick and about the pullback. So I'm just trying to get the overall setup of it. You said we're looking for 3 fully closed candles to enter the
Yes. So let me tell you what a fully closed candle is. So, like you just said, that wick in the body, that's a whole candle. So you want to see three of, because sometimes when price breaks out, it'll be halfway out the zone. Half the candle will be out the zone, and half the candle will be in the zone. You want to see 3 candles fully out of the zone. Hold on.
Yeah.
Press 2. If you would like to permanently presenting.
Kia, what's a good stock to buy? That's such a broad question. It depends more on that. It depends on what your strategy is. Are you trying to long-term invest? Are you trying to trade? It's kind of hard to just answer it like what's a good stock to buy.
Okay, I just missed that.
No, somebody was asking a question in the chat, so I was just answering their question.
Oh, okay.
Yep, but when you guys get this video here, it's going to make so much more sense. So you'll have even more clarity for next week, and then we can look for more examples.
Okay.
Do we need to review anything else? Y'all been asking some really great questions. Any other reviews we need to do from what the information that we already have?
No, no. I don't have none.
Okay.
Yeah, I just like where it's going. Also, I was telling family and and people that work here also, like the National Guard and everything. I was telling them about what I'm doing. That's why I'm doing the trades and how you be teaching and everything online and all that. They want to know how they will be able to follow you and get the information to learn and participate in their class and everything. Like how they be able to get in contact with you.
Okay. You can give him my Instagram, or Dante can provide the information, whichever way is best. This works for me. But he can always shoot me a DM if you want to share my Instagram with him.
All right, I send him your Instagram.
Yeah.
So they could,
All right.
reach out
Definitely.
to it.
I appreciate it.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, man. I figure I bring in more people to you, more business, more revenue, so all over the coast of board. So,
And I listen, that's the way, because even as we build our systems, when we have people that can work with us and do some things we might need them to do, that's even better. So the more the merrier.
yeah, definitely. And also, it's crazy because I was watching the news, and I see that Trump is trying to pass something where people in Congress, how they into the stocks and shares and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
Trying to pass something to where they're not going to be allowed to be buying any stocks anymore. So, have you came across and seen that?
I did hear a little bit about that. I heard because I guess they be getting like insider information, so they know how to trade and be ahead of the wave. So I did hear that. So they're still going to be. I think they're still going to be able to trade. I just, however, they was trading. I guess they won't be able to trade that way anymore. He's gone.
No, he's still there.
Okay. But I did see some of that, and what I've heard people do in the past too is that there's some kind of way that you can look and see how these politicians invest their money. So a lot of times, everyday people like ourselves will see what Nancy Pelosi is doing, or what um, Trump is investing in. There's some kind of way you can see that information, and people will follow those leads. Like, people will follow that information, like, oh, if they're doing it, I need to do it. So again, that's kind of a different way of looking at the stock market. That's a different way of looking at trading. That's more for that fundamental trader that we talked about in the beginning of our calls, when they're more like on information. They follow the news. They're very aware of what's happening in the world. They study the businesses. They study the Congress people. They know that kind of stuff. Your girl Blessing is a technical trader. I don't care what's going on. I'm looking at these candles. But what's helpful is when you know that kind of information, you'll be like, you know what? Stock is probably about to plummet. It's a good time for us. So now I'm kind of already aware to expect price to be probably going down that week or up that week, based on how the information is received. But either way, news like that should create some type of big movement. So a lot of times consolidation happens because regular price action can be kind of boring. But when with what you saw on the news, when stuff like that is announced, that can make a breakout happen, either to the upside or the downside. And traders love a good breakout because it's like you can get a lot of money quickly. The breakout is when price moves faster. Like, the consolidation is kind of like watching the clock move, but a breakout gives you fast energy usually. So knowing that information allows you to take advantage of the market because you are aware. But if you were not aware, you could still do just fine. So it just kind of matter. It just depends on what type of trader you want to be. I don't believe nothing the government has to say. I don't believe nothing that the world has to say, to be honest with you. I think it just is a bunch of crap. So I figured out my way of viewing the world and making it work for me. Like, I've created my own government, my own system. So a lot of things I don't care to know, because I can figure it out without knowing. But Other people are very invested in those, and that level of investment of wanting to know can be beneficial for you if you do want to know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a guy that followed the same exact. He was a regular civilian like us. Followed the same exact way and trade that Nancy Pelosi did, and the FBI came and snatched him up. And he told me, he said, "Yo, all I did was follow her trade. They didn't even care about none of that. Like they didn't look at her funny. They wanted him because he made money so fast. And they was like, yo, what the fuck? Oh hell no, this is what we good for Congress, not you, man. So like, did you ever feel tempted to like follow what they do?
What was that last question part?
Have you ever felt tempted to like follow any type of Congress people? Like when they do their stocks and trades and anything, like
No, I listen. I'm not her. I really, I don't care. Like to be honest with you, this might even sound crazy to people. I didn't vote the last election. Like I'm so far removed from what's happening in this government because I'm not going to vote for the lesser of the two evils. So I feel like from my own perspectives, God has given me a way to profit without being a part of the BS. Like I can get in there and do what I need to do and keep my nose clean. So I don't need to know what them people got going on. You know, like now if you're that type of investor, then you should, but that it's just not who I am. Do I think it's great information? Do I think it's smart information? Do I think it's wise information? Do I think it's helpful information? Can you maximize the information? Yes, 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 yes. But it's just like choosing a career. We could be doctors. We can be on the call right now learning how to be a surgeon, but I chose to be a trader. So I don't care about what surgeons do, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So, like for instance, but there's other traders who are fundamental traders, and if you have this conversation with them, they'll be able to go in, give you some insight, give you more information. But I'm just genuinely not a fundamental trader. I'm genuinely a price action trader. All that matters to me is what candles are doing. I don't get caught up in the hype at all. But as you're learning how to trade with me and you're watching the news, and if this stuff interests you, you should continue to layer it into your trading technique. Like there's one guy that I when I started trading, he was one of the first courses that I purchased, and you can ask him about any business and he'll be able to tell you how much they make, how much they don't make, who the president is, who the last president was, when their earnings come out. Like he knows all of that stuff. And that stuff is helpful because when earnings come out, it usually does affect the market. Cool. But when earnings come out, I'm just looking at the market and seeing what it's doing and reading the patterns accordingly. So he does have leverage. He does have an upper hand from knowing that information, but I don't need it. I don't know if you know this story or not, but one time Henry Ford, the guy who invented the automobile, he was getting sued because he was being sued by other white men because they felt like he was stupid. Honestly, they was like, how is it that he created this car and making all this money and he has no education? Like, wow, it doesn't make sense. And they tried to sue him because of that. And Henry Ford ended up winning his case because he said, yeah, I may not have the education, but I have the money. I have the money to hire the expert. So I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to explain this. I don't know what that means. I don't know how to put that together, but I do know how to pay the scientists how to put it together. So even with him, he was a businessman, but he didn't know a lot of the ins and outs, even about his own business, because he knew what he needed to do to make it work. That's how I work. I don't need to know all the details. I've come up with the system that makes what I need to accomplish in life work. Now I'm not caught up with whether they racist or not, taking that energy in every day, whether they telling the truth or not, or giving me their poker face. Like I don't even want to know none of that about them. I don't want none of that energy in my real life at all. They're all selling me a dream. And if I had to know, then I would know. But I can do it with price action. That's good enough for me. So technical analysis, I'm a technical analysis trader. I have no desire to be a fundamental trader.
You know what?
But they do exist. And you might be one. But that will be an awesome part too. Like once we get our fundamentals down, that will be an awesome part too for anyone that's interested to deepen their education. But for what we're trying to accomplish, making sure you men and kings or queens are profitable when you are able to get to this computer, that's what we're here to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be a beautiful thing.
Everything else is just extra to help you make more money. But the basics is gonna be great too.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get you understand, Professor B, because again, it's a lot. Like you said it all though. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on with them. The energy that comes from it.
Yeah, like the Epstein files, like all of them people is involved in all of that devilish activity. Y'all do what y'all do. I'm gonna do what I do. Like the Epstein files is coming out, like everybody got their hand in that some kind of way.
Right. No, so just reading the candles and price action is what you need to know, and you, regardless of what's going on, stay with that. You're gonna make money, regardless of what's going on.
You can find a business that you never even you're gonna find businesses that you never even heard of before, and you're just gonna be like, I like the way these candles move. This is good price action. That's all you need.
Right. True. I get it. It's clean.
That's it.
I like it. Yeah. You done moved on, and none of that energy affected you.
Because I'm an empath, so I take things in very deeply, even if it is in Congress. Like I feel it. So the best thing for me to do is to keep it's bigger than the money. I have to keep my energy clean, and that's a bunch of devilish stuff that I have no desire to be a part of.
That's the dog. Thank you. I appreciate it, Professor B. Thank you.
I'm here to show the world how you can be a billionaire the God way. We don't have to be having sex with children and manipulating the system and doing the devil's work. That ain't what we do. And then running for president like it's all good in the hood in America, act like that ain't weird. I'm not on that train.
Right.
It ain't nothing they can tell me to make no sense. But these candles make sense, and they don't talk about nothing. They just red or green, red or green.
Let's just make it happen.
That's it. So that's what we here to do, guys.
All right. Hey, Professor B, thank you very much for the energy and the explanation and the insight too, because that is also great in understanding that. Because a lot of times we kind of get sidetracked by what's going on in the world and how this affects that and all of this. But just to simplify it, all you got to do is just read these price actions. I get it. I like it.
That's all you got to
do.
do.
Just explaining that to us is really a good look.
Yep. Yeah. And everything else is extra in your choice. I don't knock it, but we don't have to do it if we don't want to. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, you guys just keep amazing me. I'm just so proud of you guys. Thank you for sticking in with it every week and just making yourselves better. I'm just grateful to be a part of it all. Thank you, Dante. Thank you, God. Thank you, everybody. And y'all just keep being great.
Sure. You the same. Thank you. Thank you for showing up and doing this for us, too.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I really enjoy it. I really, really do. So it's all love.
Yeah. We definitely appreciate that, and we look forward to the next episode.
All right, sounds good. Well, I know y'all want to do y'all little chit chatting after I get off the call about the little girls and things of that nature. So I'm gonna get off the phone, but I will definitely see y'all next week on Thursday.
Stop.
All right, guys. POP, hold it down.
All right, until next week, fella. All right, Professor B.
All right, the CEO.
All right.
Talk to you soon.